What's going on, guys? We are back with another video, and today is a very special day. We're going to be test fitting our prototype sway bar quick disconnects on the Ford Ranger. So there's really nothing on the market right now. You can go through the forums and you see a couple people that have created their own, and obviously they stopped selling it. It's just they create one small batch and that was it. So I figured, why not create our own? So Nick, the one with the red Dakota that you've seen on my channel plenty of times, and the recent video that we did on his truck, he's a mechanical engineer, and back and forth he ended up designing this sway bar disconnect, which is a slightly superior design compared to the other ones. As far as build quality and everything like that, we used all quality parts. Majority of it's stainless steel, if not it's zinc coated, so that way it's rust resistant and wear resistant. So we try to make it as resilient as possible. So today I'm going to be showing you how to install it and how easy it is to take it off. So let's get right into it. Alrighty, so we're here with Nick. He's going to go for all you people out there that like the in-depth details of what goes into making these things and what specifically this is made out of. He's going to go over the specifications of the sway bar disconnects that we have here.
Alright, so starting off with the rods. All the rods are 18/8 high strength stainless steel. So moving on to the nuts, all the hardware is zinc coated. If it's gold, it's a zinc coated steel. That way it's resistant to corrosion, because they didn't have stainless steel for those fasteners, so I went with a zinc coated so it'd be resistant to corrosion. Every other nut that is silver like this, and the rod ends are all stainless steel. So everything is high strength stainless steel to be durable and withstand the weathering as you're out on the road. So one cool thing about the sway bar disconnect that we wanted to address is a lot of people are going off road or they're hitting dirt roads before they disconnect the sway bar. So what we wanted to do was allow to the longevity of these. So I purchased specifically tie rod ends that had Zerk fittings, so you can grease these as you go. That way with the grease you can push out the dirt and they'll have a longer longevity.
Alright, so first thing you want to do is take off your wheel, jack up the truck, take off the wheel, so we got plenty of room to work with. You're going to need a 6mm Allen key for the middle here, and it's going to be an 18mm socket wrench that you're going to need. So first thing you probably want to do is break that 18mm socket until you see it start spinning. And then easiest thing to do here is if you have a crow's foot wrench, you could use that, or if you got some vice grips to clamp down here, and then with that 6mm back out the bolt, you can do that as well. Or you can just use an impact, and apparently it comes out in one shot. Alright, so if you don't have an impact, we're going to show you how to do it without an impact. So if you have some vice grips, you grab the vice grips around the bolt, and then if you have an Allen key, 6mm Allen key on a wrench, you're essentially going to go righty-tighty with the wrench, and it'll spin, and it'll slowly start backing out the sway bar, just the end links, as you see. To get that top one off, we're going to move down to the bottom, so just follow the end link down to the bottom, and it's the exact same thing as the top. It's that 6mm Allen key with that 18mm socket nut that you have to take off. So recommend first is breaking that nut, that 18mm, until you see the back end start spinning, and then you can use the vice grips and that 6mm Allen key to back the rest of the sway bar end link out. After you remove the nut on the bottom, you're not going to be able to remove this because right now the sway bar is under load since we only jacked up one side of the truck. So to combat that, if you got your truck on a jack stand there, you're just going to jack it up with a jack underneath the lower control arm to enough to where it releases that tension and it just simply pops off really easily. Alright, so once you have the stock ones out, you can line, these will be pretty close but you may need some slight adjustments to make sure they are equal length. So you just gotta loosen the nut and essentially thread it in or out wherever, if it's slightly too long or slightly too short, to adjust it so that way it is even with the OEM one. As this is a prototype, these are going to be upgraded to locking nuts, so that way there is no vibration or they come loose. Alright, so we're going to take our link studs here and we're going to put the washer through, and the side with the hole with the pin, as you see on the back end there, it's got a hole. That side is going to be facing inward, and the side with no hole is going to be facing outward of the wheel well. So then you'll take another washer to put in, the lock washer, and then the actual nut that you're just going to thread all the way down, and we're going to torque that down to 45 foot-pounds of torque. So once you finish with the top, the same exact process is going to be for the bottom, except the pinhole that you see there is going to be facing outward on the bottom that connects to the sway bar. The same thing, you're going to have a washer on this side and then a washer on the other side with the locking washer and the nut. Alrighty, so once you have both of them in and tightened down, again, so this is the prototype, so the threaded rod sticking out, as you see outward, is going to be shortened a little bit for final production. But once you do that, you're going to slide in you're going to get the end link, and you're going to slide it, you're just going to simply slide it in on both ends. And if you measured it correctly, it should just slide in with no problem. And then you take the pins and you just slide the pins in and lock it in place. And so the pins will have a little bit of movement. There is a washer on the inside that you can adjust, so that way there isn't as much play with the pin in between, like inward and outward. There isn't much play, so we designed that so that way you can adjust it so there's very minimal play that happens in between both of them. Just want to give a little update here, as the time of filming this was with the prototype. We do now include rubber washers that sit in between the nut and the end link on the inside, and then the end link and the pin on the outside. So it dramatically reduces the vibration and the clanking that you get from sway bar disconnects. So that's how the sway bar disconnects work. Simply how you how we just put it on. It's as easy as that to take it off. It's just the two pins that you flip out. Two pins flip out, and then it just simply slides out, and that's it. You're ready to go. This can be done with the wheel on. Obviously, we just have the wheel off for demonstration purposes, but with the wheel on and the vehicle being leveled, the sway bar doesn't have any tension, and you can do this while you're airing down. You can just simply slide underneath, take those two pins out, and your sway bar will be disconnected for off-road use. Alrighty guys, that's the end of this video. If you're interested in one of these sway bar disconnects, make sure to go visit outlandishoverland.com, or the link will be in the description. We are, at the time of this video is being released, we are doing a pre-order of only 30 units that they are going to be the cheapest they are ever going to be. So make sure you go pick one up before they're all gone, and we'll see you guys in the next video.